my F1 2019 career mode. We are at Mexico City for the Mexican Grand Prix, and a very good result for us in wet, like heavy wet conditions. Full wet weather tires, and we end up just sneaking by with the pole over Alexander Albon and Max Verstappen. I mentioned in the end of my U.S. Grand Prix race that, with the ability to do a big dive bomb or gain, not really a dive bomb, but gain a lot of spots in that log run down to turn 1 for the Mexican Grand Prix, that where we qualify is going to be crucial. And honestly, from here we qualify very well on the pole position. So for us, I don't know. I mean, we in theory could clinch the championship today because we look at the championship standings. I'm 34 points ahead of Albon and Bottas. So if I win the race, and so let's see, 25 points. So let's say I just get 25, I don't get the fast lap. 25 minus 16 is 9. So I think if I win the race and Albon or Bottas finish essentially outside the top 5, then I would clinch the championship at this race. Math could be off a little bit there, but the bottom line is that if I win and Albon and Bottas finish lower than 6th, 5th or 6th, probably 6th or lower, then I win the championship. So this is a very crucial race. Of course, Schumacher, our teammates, really on the outside looking in terms of his championship hopes, because he's about, I think it was 47 points out, and he's qualified outside the top 10. Bottas and him, 10th place, not the best start for him. So it's really, the one we really have to worry about is Alexander Albon. He's the one that we got to keep our eye on, really, at this stage. So, yeah, there we go. Got my dog sitting here with me. Got my dog Lady. She's just sitting here, rubbing her belly a little bit. She's a good dog. She's a very good dog. Get the rivalry with Sainz a little closer, and I think we'll probably, if not even it up, overtake him by the end of the actual race. Unfortunately, the race should be in full dry conditions, so we won't have to worry about switching to wet weather tires at any point during the race.
I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Yeah, weather's going to be cloudy, but no rain, which is good. And actually, before I start, I want to take a look at the season results and really show you what's gotten Alexander Albon to where he is now. I mean, really through, I guess, the Austrian Grand Prix was really, what you would expect from the Red Bull team, and Albon in particular. A few DNFs, a few outside the points finishes, a few points-paying finishes, but nothing really out of the ordinary. And then it was really with the British Grand Prix where he really started turning at the wick. I mean, outside of the Singapore Grand Prix, Albon has been on the podium for every race since Great Britain. Second, first, second, second, seventh, first, third, first. So Of course, 3 race wins included in there. So, yeah, Albon has just been, he's, I haven't been getting the best results. Obviously, you look at, I've had, my own struggles scoring either like 1 point or no points. Well, he's been scoring the points, so he's been doing all the right things at the right point in the season. Coincidentally, that occurred right when Red Bull sort of peaked and reached their maximum development. So, anyway, let's go to the Mexican Grand Prix.
Welcome along to the most populous city in North America and home now to the Mexico City Grand Prix. It's a sellout crowd as usual here at one of the shortest circuits on the Formula One calendar. So who, I wonder, will the crowd cheer on today to the top step of the podium? The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, 2.6 miles of track that allows drivers to take full advantage of their cars, reaching speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and providing lots of opportunities for overtaking. The circuit features 17 corners, 10 to the right and the remaining 7 going to the left. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. It's the owner-driver in pole position then, just edging out Alexander Albon, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Hamilton, Pierre Gasly and Ocon, Kvyat, Matsushita, Bottas and Charles Leclerc, Perez, Giotto, Max Verstappen and Schumacher, Stroll, Sainz, Kevin Magnussen and George Russell, De Vries, Latifi, Calderon and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid.
Apologies for that. The dog had to go out, as you know, as dogs do. Pretty straightforward strategy, although I'll probably end up making it a one-stop. I've done that here before. I'm sure I can do that again. And yeah, let's get ready. Ready to rock and roll here.
Launch map is good, but we need to learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please. The drivers we're racing are Albon and Norris. Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Yeah, Mexico is a track where I wouldn't consider myself to be as good as I actually am. But in my career mode, I've won here a couple times already. And yeah, I just tend to do much better than qualifying in some other places. My first sector, and I guess a little bit of the second sector, as I hit the wall, I'm talking, not paying attention. The first sector, I guess part of the second sector really suit my driving style, I guess, or really suit the kind of track that I enjoy driving, so maybe that's part of it. A lot of fast sections bookended by slow corners. Should be interesting run down turn one, see who makes the boldest move.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
Alright, the grid is forming up here for the Mexican Grand Prix. She also mentioned that Max Verstappen, who qualified third, had a 10th-place grid penalty, probably for engine component changes. So he is all the way back in 13th. Alright, 5 red lights for the Mexican Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. Get a good launch off the line, but they're going to get the draft on me, of course. Now this long run, it's already single file, first through third. Ooh, a little contact with Albon. Enables us to get away a little bit. Not by that much. Albon still in a second. First laps to be myself, Albon, Norris, Gasly, and Lewis Hamilton.
Great first lap. Keep it up.
Back to the car, following Albon, who's following us down the main straight. Albon gets by me there. I'm gonna move on him. Albon was able to take the lead for a very brief moment, but be able to take it right back as Pierre Gasly currently holds the fastest lap of the Grand Prix after 2 laps. Went a little too wide. Really slowing up Albon at the end of that first sequence of corners. Especially when we go side by side. One second. My dog is back. Hi, lady. Her name is Lady. L-A-D-Y, lady. Alright, there you go. Take a seat, lady. It's all good. Take a seat. Alright, let's go through this corner again. Albon back at me once again. do our usual mid-session save.
Some time to the car behind.
Alexander Albon. Ooh, uh-oh. Oh no! Something's wrong with Albon. Does he have an engine problem? He does, and he's out of the race. Wow. Alexander Albon's championship hopes might have just gone up in smoke. Wow. Now I gotta say, Mexico has a history with me on this game of ruining the title hopes of other drivers via engine failure. I know one season where Lewis Hamilton had an engine failure here that cost him the championship. Ultimately cost him the championship. And I think Daniel Ricciardo also had an engine failure here in season 3, I want to say.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
When I was trying to catch him back up in the title fight, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly.
Caution, yellow flags ahead. No overtaking through the caution zone. Be careful until you see the greens.
So I believe this is at the third time, at most, at least.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Third time at most, second at the very least.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
For an engine failure at this race, at the Mexican Grand Prix, has
Copy.
Shaped the championship in my favor.
We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
Well, we got another car with an engine problem. One of the Alfa Romeos, Giovinazzi.
Full course caution. The safety car is out.
And that
keep an eye on the Delta.
brings out the safety car
to avoid a penalty. Slow down. Maintain positive Delta.
Safety car is out. Now I wonder how that is going to shake up pit strategy potentially.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Confirmed.
It's telling me to come in now. Now I do have some cars coming in now for their stops. Let's do a quick rewind and see. These are back marker cars who are pitting right now. This is, let's see, Calderon, Degrees, I believe, Nicholas Tiffy. So we had at least 3 cars to make a pit stop. And they all went on soft tires. Closing in on the stalled car of Antonio Giovinazzi. He's out of the race. 2 very early retirements here in the Mexican Grand Prix. Now I'm going to save right here. I feel like a bunch of people are going to pit here. Now, again, as I said previously, I'm pretty sure I can easily do a one-stop strategy here. And another option, I could just go with hard tires and just go to the end. But I don't feel entirely comfortable on the hards. And the wear on these softs isn't terrible. I can go for a ways yet, I think. One second. I thought my dog wanted to go up on my bed, but apparently she does not. So we shall continue.
We're coming up to the safety car now. Do not pass it. You are the leader. Follow the safety car.
Yeah, I could easily have pitted there and gone onto the hard tires and then just said, okay, I'm good to go till the end of the race. But, you know, the other part of me, and as I check the race director, they all go south. So all those people have to pit again. Anyway. And my tire wear, as I said, it's not terrible. I could stretch it a little while longer, another 5 or 6 laps, probably. But I feel like this would be the better strategy for me in the long run. And we'll see if anybody behind me pits this time. Or if they stay out a little while longer. No, they're staying out. So I'm curious if some of these... So I was thinking when the safety car came out that everyone would come in, but it seems like a good chunk of the cars have stayed out. And if they didn't pit initially on that first stop, they're not pitting, you know, they're not going to pit now. So I'm wondering if maybe they're going to try and stay out. And maybe like me, they're trying to pull one stop, and for clarification, that would be Verstappen, Giotto, Schumacher, Sainz, Stroll, Magnussen, and George Russell. Curious to see if they try for a one-stop strategy, or if they are doing two-stop anyway, which in that case, it makes no sense really that they stayed out here, but...
Approaching the safety car. You're leading, so don't pass it. Stay behind the safety car.
I think we should be going back to green this time.
Okay, the safety car is coming in this lap. We'll be pacing the field in Sector 3. Make sure to respect the Delta until the safety car is in the pit lane.
Alright, here we go. Safety car restart incoming. Bringing the field to a practical crawl here. Here we gun it.
Okay, clear.
And we're off. Verstappen and Giotto are now second and third behind me. Oh, Verstappen. You sly dog, you. Late move to the inside. Kept him off this time. Curious to see how quickly the cars on the new tires can get to the cars on the old tires, and I think Gasly has already gotten by the Haas of George Russell. Now trying to attack the Alfa Romeo.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilize some of this energy.
Giotto dives into the pits as the Schumacher. Verstappen stays out for another lap.
Mick is in the pits. Mick in the pits.
So I guess the question is going to be, what do the guys who pit now go in terms of their tire selection? In fact, we'll take a look at that right now. Another set of softs. Softs. Yeah, so they're all going with softs, which just begs the question, if you guys are going to pit like a lap after the safety car, then why not try to stretch it? Yeah, it's a move that doesn't really make a ton of sense to me. But more power to them, I guess. Well, let me say just little spots. With those other guys closing, I might try to pit this time, potentially. I'm pretty sure I can make all the way to the end on one set of medium tires from here.
Okay, we can take you this lap. Affirmative. Medium tires at the next stop.
Yeah, let's go with it. Hit the bollard. Sent it all the way down the pit lane. And right to fall.
Go now.
Not quite all the way to the back of the field, but close to it.
Okay,
we are going to be in traffic.
Line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. DRS. DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
Of course, guys like Schumacher and Sainz are on totally fresh soft tires. Verstappen hits the pits and he goes on to the mediums.
Position. You're in 14th position. Mick ahead. Gap to car in front is 2.1 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Sainz is behind you. They're on fresh softs. Pit window will open in 10 laps time. Pit window opens in 10 laps. 21 laps to go. We're in P14. Mick is ahead of you. Okay. Gap ahead is 2.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Sainz behind. The gap to the car behind is 1.0 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Pit window will open in 10 laps time. Pit window opens in 10 laps. 21 laps to go. Currently, the fastest lap is a 1 minute 16.5. Front is 3.3 seconds. Green flag. Okay, the safety car is out. The safety car is out. We need to form up at a reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive. Some information on Giotto.
Didn't expect that incident to be that big. Ooh, yikes. safety car. We'll see how that shakes things up.
Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately. Nick is coming in for his stop. Return the position immediately or we will be penalised. There is no overtaking during the safety car period. Car ahead has come in to fit the mediums. Car ahead, now running medium tyres.
So not exactly the best positioning for us on that safety car. Bottas and Esteban Ocon still have to pit, but we're gonna at least fall to 7th. What I'm guessing is going to happen is Bottas and Ocon will run a lap behind the safety car, or run a lap under green, and then they'll pit.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
Oh, Norris, come on.
Okay, clear. A new New strategy is available on the MFD. Gap to teammate behind is 1.5 seconds. Got that confirmed?
Big dive bomb on north, so we get the spot. Move on, Perez, the hometown hero. We get him in an awkward spot, but we get the position. This is the 7th, and that should be P5. By the time Bottas and Ocon dive into the pits. Not pitting yet. They will be sooner or later.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Use your overtake button. Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
And I'm going to do a quick pause right here just to take care of something real quick. Apologies for that. Back here. Try to finish off this race as quickly as possible. Ocon and Bottas have to stop. They cannot finish the race on their current compounds. And looks like they are coming into the pits right now, so Pierre Gasly will assume the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix with Danica Villa in second.
3.0 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
We need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs. Gasly's out in front. In this lap. Push
That
now.
won't be necessary, Jeff. We're going all the way to the end.
We advise moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2. Gap to car in front is 2.5 seconds. Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy. Okay, gap ahead is 2.8 seconds. issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Gasly's in first place. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. To the car in front is 3.6 seconds. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Gasly has the lead. Be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon. This is your final lap of the race. Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
Well, this race didn't exactly go the way we expected. Started on pole, looked to get the super result, potentially clinch the championship. That's not going to happen, but what is happening, or has just happened, is that Pierre Gasly has won the Mexican Grand Prix, and we are going to come home in P5.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Carlos Sainz gets driver of the day.
It's a performance to be proud of from our Mexico City Grand Prix winners. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
As we can see, it's time for the podium, and I can see the Renault team underneath our commentary box going crazy as their drivers walk out. It was a great win, and it means a great deal to this team. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Our championship leader not only managed to hold on to the top spot, but managed to further extend their lead. Impressive stuff. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, Who do you pick?
Carlos Sainz certainly wasn't someone to scoff about. His ability to follow race strategies throughout with pinpoint precision has to be commended.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Alright, that was the Mexican Grand Prix. Again, would have liked to have capitalized more than we did, but we outscored all of our championship rivals, which is still good. Constructor standings, we lead by 71 points over Mercedes. Renault moves up a bit with Gasly's win. Driver standings is where it gets really interesting. So Mick Schumacher, our teammate, there is a possibility where Schumacher could still win the championship, but essentially that would require is for myself to score no points in the last two races, and for Albon and Bottas to score minimal points, and it would require Mick Schumacher to win both races and get the fastest lap to get a total of 52 to overcome the 51 that he's behind. But for all intents and purposes, Pierre Gasly is out of it. Now, Albon and Bottas, they are still in the championship, and with how volatile the starting grids have been this season, they are most certainly in it with a chance to win it. The way I see it is that what I need to do essentially over the next two races is score at least 6 points combined in both races. Because that would overcome any sort of deficit I might, or any ground they might make up. So essentially, if I can finish in at least 8th place in the next two races, then I win the championship. Because that's all I need. I need 6 points, really. And that's not saying if I finish 8th in the next race, I go to the championship, but more just saying, even if Albon or Bottas both win, or one of the two of them wins out the rest of the season, one of them wins the next two races, all I need to do to secure the championship is score 6 points. To sort of equal out to at least get to a point where it would end up in a tie. So, like, if in the next race I finished 8th, and then in Abu Dhabi I finished 9th, that's 6 points right there, I win the championship. So, and that's my goal, to get 8th place, at least 8th place in the next two races. Just go from there. And of course that could change. That scenario implies that either Albon or Bottas are going to win out the next two races, which might not happen, or could happen. We don't know. We'll have to see. But there you go. Gonna renew DBS optics. Alright, looks good. Alright, and that was the Mexican Grand Prix. We'll see you next time for the Brazilian Grand Prix.